In this video, it is an Arrma 3S lineup ultimate diff fix. So this is my son's Arrma 3S, and I'll be honest, it has been through everything. And we finally stripped out the rear diff. It is currently front wheel drive only, no power going to the rear. So we are doing an ultimate diff build. We have the hot racing aluminum yokes, we have the transmission metal, all the metal gears to go on the thing, and we have the hot racing aluminum diff case, the ultimate 3S Arrma diff upgrade. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's start by getting the body off and start digging into getting that rear diff out of this car. Good news is the tools that you need for this job really pretty simple. Some scissors to open up some bags, pliers to hold onto some parts, flat blade screwdriver just to help you with separating a few things, needle nose just to hold on to some things, 2.5 and 2 millimeter speed tips. I like this Hodo electric screwdriver, a magnetic tray, and some thread locker. So pretty standard normal things in order to do this. Now, first step to accessing the diff is having to get the motor and everything out. If you've owned an Arrma, you've probably already done this already. You take this red piece out, one screw down here at the bottom, slide this out, get your drive shaft out of the way, and then lift up on these two tabs and pull all this forward. Now, I've been extra dumb, and I've mounted my aftermarket Hobby Wing ESC right here, which means none of this can move forward, so I'm going to have to get my ESC out of the way as I do all this. With that out of the way, we're now going to take these two screws from the side of the wing mount so that we can pop that wing off. And then we're going to come down here to the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to help get the rest of that rear bumper dislocated and off of the diff case. The whole thing now pops off. And we have access to the diff right there. We can actually just pull, and that is what we're here looking for right there. If you can see it on the camera, all these shavings in here, that's why we're here. First things first, we're going to take that 2 millimeter, we're going to go right in the middle here, all the way in, get that drive shaft off, and then we're going to do the same thing here on the other side. In order to get this case apart now, there's one screw here on this side, and then the same thing over here on the other. Okay. That case will now come apart. One side. There's that input gear that we have absolutely destroyed. Other side of the case, and then the differential itself. You can pry up on these bearings a little bit gently. Kind of work your way around it, and it should pop those bearings off. We are going to be replacing this main gear here. We don't want to reuse this worn out one. I'm going to take these 4 teeth off right here. This is a big watch out for you. So this is the differential that came in my vehicle, which I think is like an older design. As I put this newer one together, that's a problem, isn't it? So yeah, you screw that down on there, whoop, like this. You screw that down on there, there's a big hole. Yeah, there's a big hole right there. So that's not going to work. Turns out all these parts that I bought are for a different style diff case, which is this AR310772 composite diff case. I need this part. I need this part right here in order to make this work. Yes, that looks like it's going to be a whole lot better. That's going to actually fill that gap. Now, as you assemble these, a couple things to note. You need to move over the shim and the O-ring as you put these end gears in. You also need to make sure that you put a new bearing or move over the bearing from the center of these two gears. If you don't do that, you're going to be sad. Now, the next thing is this is empty. It needs some fluid in it. Now, the stock differentials come with about a 10,000 weight fluid. I've been happy with how my vehicle drives. I have no reason to change it, but this is, of course, something that you get to tune on with your vehicle. Some people jump up to 20,000. If you're going to do speed runs, maybe you go even higher than that, but in that 10 to 20 range is probably where you're going to be at. Fluids are really, really good. I can leave a link to it down in the video description. Now, since we're putting these screws into an aluminum diff case, Metal on metal means you want some Loctite on there. All right, we're full of fluid. All the gears are in there. We have this end plate on. We have a brand new diff assembled. Check that out. Now it's a great time to go ahead and put new bearings on here because, you know, if you're going through all this effort to do all this, might as well put bearings on it as well. Our new input gear now has new bearings on it as well, and now it's time for this. So we're in the final stretch here. And now there we are. Look at that. That is one fancy, absolutely fully upgraded diff for this Arrma Typhon. A little bit needs to wear in a little bit to get smooth here on the gears. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on it. I have this Utter Butter from Cow RC, so I'm going to be taking it and just putting a little bit on those gears to help them run in. Alright, with this now, we're about ready to put this all back in the buggy. But one thing that's very important, there's a lot of those plastic shavings and everything down there in the bottom of that diff case. We're going to take some towels and some cleaner, and we need to get that all cleaned out of there before we put the diff in. As you put the diff back in there, the ring gear goes to one side. You can actually see a cutout in the bottom of the chassis that tells you which way it goes. That's important, because if you put it in backwards, the rear wheels are going to spin in the wrong direction. Alright, there we go. Diff assembled, new bearings, plus the drive shaft's already installed. That way it's easier to get in there. Inside of here has already been all cleaned out. I think we're ready to go for the reassembly. I'm just going to put it all back together and let you know if I run into any hiccups along the way. There we go. Whole vehicle's back together again, and now we can confirm front wheels and rear wheels do spin the same direction. So that's good. That means we got the diff in the right way. One thing I do notice is if I take this, it doesn't want to diff out. So even if I take both hands and I try to turn it this way, right? It's an open differential, so if I turn one wheel forward, the other wheel should turn reverse. But it turns out it's acting like it's almost locked. You can get it to spin for sure, but it's stiff and it requires more oomph than I would really think it should. It tells me maybe I overfilled the diff, a little bit too much fluid in it, and so it is, it's kind of binding up a little bit. I'm going to run it some. I'm going to run it and I'm going to see just how it feels and see if it loosens up a little bit over time. If not, I may be taking it back apart and getting a little bit of that fluid out. Just making sure that everything is running smoothly with that rear diff. You do kind of want it to work, right? Kind of like this. Nice and easy. You want it to be able to do that. If you have any questions about what I did or how I did it, if this is now 6 months later after this video was published and you want to ask about the durability of the diff and anything that I've changed, please leave those down in the video comments. I'm going to get this thing out. I'm going to have my son get it out actually, and we're going to bash it. We're going to really use this vehicle and see how it does. So excited to get this back on the road, and I now am in a place where I think that rear diff should be absolutely bulletproof. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.